everybody. Good afternoon to you. How are you? So, I just finished up a reaction to Chantal's latest video. It was a bit aggravating, but that is Chantal anymore. And Neo Tarot posted this tarot reading yesterday, but something told me to hold off and wait on reacting to her reading. And I'm glad I did because the videos and the live streams that Foodie has done since yesterday have been even more aggravating. And so I thought, what better way to relax and to feel better than to watch Neo do her reading and react to it. So, like, this reading, it's fantastic as always, Neo. You always do great readings. And by the way, I love your merch store. I peeked at it. Yes, I did. I love your merch. I love the t-shirt, not my problem, not my business, and the tarot cards. So I might be spending some money in your merch store real soon and getting a reading with you as well. But that's a little bit later. But I do appreciate the merch store. But what I want to do right now for everybody is to react to the reading. So I watched your reading, Neo, and there was one message that came in loud and clear as a bell from Spirit as I was watching your reading, and I posted it in your comments. The message was for Chantal: you brought it here, but you shouldn't leave here with it. Like, that was a simple message. Like, you brought it here with you, but you shouldn't leave with it. You should leave it behind. And I thought, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, Chantal is the kind of person that she's got lots of issues, perhaps mental issues, perhaps emotional issues, perhaps things from her past. She's got an entire U-Haul storage unit full of stuff and just all kinds of luggage. It is so overflowing that I'm sure it's quite heavy. And wherever she goes, that luggage goes with her. So I think what Spirit is trying to tell her is that instead of traveling to different areas with all of that luggage, which is overwhelming and it's entirely too heavy, and as long as you have your hands full of the past, and as long as your hands are holding on to issues from the past, you don't have any space in your hand free to grab on to the future and the present. So Spirit is saying, instead of lugging around all that luggage, unpack it, take out all the clothes, take out all the issues, wash them, dry them, fold them, put them away. And that way, whatever you do in life, you can do a lot easier. You'll be able to move faster. You'll be able to do more. So that is the message from Spirit to Foodie, that she went to Kuwait with all of her issues, and she tried to put Salah in a position where she's not going to deal with her stuff. She wanted him to deal with her stuff and compensate for her stuff. That's not his job. That is not his responsibility. Spirit is saying, it's your turn. You're the adult. You deal with it. You're the best one who can. You're the only one that can make a difference. So you brought it with you, but when you leave, don't take it with you. Deal with it, and you won't have to take it with you. So, with that said, let's get on to Neo Tarot's most excellent reading. And by the way, hello, Neo. Oh, girl, I always smile when you post a reading. I always know it's going to be a good time. So why don't we just get into the reading, and I will give my thoughts as you go. Okay? I think that'd be a good thing. All right, so there is Neo's reading, and I will leave a link for Neo's original video in the video description for anyone who wants to check out Neo's channel and her video. Again, look in the description. The link will be there because Neo does all kinds of great readings. Tarot readings on celebrities and singers and actors and even haunted places. Like that lake situation that you covered not too long ago, Neo. I loved it. And I really hope that you do more of that. Like, there's all kinds of haunted places and sites in the world. I think it'd be great since you are very intuitive and very sensitive to energy. There's all kinds of like haunted houses and sacred sites and things of that nature. And it's always wonderful to kind of get into the history and the energy and what's really going on there. So I really hope you do more of that because I really love that. Like Lanier Lake, was it? Lake Lanier? I really love that one. Anyway, let's get into the Rudy? What's a Rudy? The reading. Girl, what's wrong with me? Let's get into the reading about Foodie and see what Neo has to say. Shall we? I'm all for it. I'm here. Let's do this.
To determine for yourself. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. Okay, someone sent me a message yesterday and said, get in here. And I said, here I come, here I come. So I'm here. Let's get into it. Spirit is acknowledging that we see this cat. You guys have already told me about the connection with her to cats, but there's also this energy that is connecting her to Cats Have 9 Lives, trying to do something over and over and over again because it is what she wants. She's trying to bring her manifestation to the tangible. And so she's going to keep trying to do it over and over again, seeking breakthrough, solution, originality, receptivity, and faith. When I look at this card too, I do see that this purple is on the bottom, letting me know that there is some blockages, or there are some blockages in her third eye chakra, that intuitive chakra, that inner guide, that voice that guides you to do the right thing, to stay on your righteous path. But it's upside down, so it's in reverse. That is how I'm picking up on this energy. And it just lets me know that, again, there are blockages and or delays within her third eye.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, Neo. You said before in your previous readings that she's not really listening or connected to her upper chakras. She's very primal, very feral, very hedonistic, animalistic. Like she's all about the base chakras, like her urges, her impulses, that animal side to her nature. Like we have different chakras that do different things. But as far as her higher self, her spiritual self, she's really not plugged into that. She doesn't want to listen. She's not listening to her guides. She's not listening to the spirits. I think to live the life that she wants to live, she shut all that down so she could just uh, live by the seat of her pants, live by her impulses, have no remorse, have no regret, have no second thoughts. It's all about just living moment to moment to moment with no regret, no guilt, no nothing, no sense of empathy. Like that is the level in which she has chosen by choice to live. You know, just living in that primal self.
Within her intuition, within her inner guide, okay? Tapping into her higher self.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in regards to, thank you, Spirit, this romantic relationship that she has all of the solar plexus energy. There's something that she keeps trying to do over and over and over again. Give me some sugar. She's trying to have a breakthrough. She's trying to have a breakthrough with hugs and kisses, adoration, snuggling, pillow talking, bonding, and someone's favorite. And it's just a pattern because it's not coming to fruition. And so she keeps trying over and over and over again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Spirit is also acknowledging that this is a bromance and not a romance. I do see water, acknowledging that this is emotional and or a water sign. See, up here, we see the intuition is where it's supposed to be. That third eye chakra is supposed to be towards the higher, in alignment. It's at the higher, it's a higher chakra, closer to the crown chakra. So now it's in alignment that this is a bromance, not a romance. And so intuitively, the energy that I'm picking up on is she's fighting herself. Intuitively, she knows that this is not going to work, but she negates that. She's not even listening to her higher self, in that she wants what she wants, and she's going to keep trying to have it over and over and over again. There's some solar plexus energy here. There's also some sacral energy. That's a sexual energy. And then we have the heart chakra here as well. So
sorry to interrupt you again. Chantal wants what she wants. She's always been that way ever since she was young. And she thinks if she wants it, she can successfully manifest it just by the act of wanting. She doesn't want to hear the word no. She doesn't want to acknowledge that there are people and things in life that are not meant for her. And no matter what she does, she's not going to get them. She thinks no matter what's going on, no matter who it is, no matter what the situation is, Neo, that if she wants it, it belongs to her. This, I feel like Spirit is telling me that it's connected to her ego, like her narcissistic self, her ego, her pride, her vanity. She cannot take the word no. She will not accept the word no. Uh, she just won't accept that certain things are meant for her and certain things are not. But you're right. As far as Salah, this is a bromance. What a great way to describe it. It's a bromance. It is an employer, an employee. But she's repeating the same lesson that she's had before with somebody else, somebody before Salah, with Natter. Like she entered into a financial situation with Natter. It was supposed to be just a financial thing for YouTube. And she thought if she threw enough money at him and did a lot of things for him, that he would just fall madly in love. And after about a year, she did not get what she wanted. So she did not take the lesson from that and grow and be better. So she's repeating the same lesson with Salah, like just thrusting herself, not literally, thrusting herself upon a man that she knows from the jump does not want her, does not desire her. Yet in her mind, mentally, emotionally, she's got this false, toxic cheerleader in her head, cheering her on, lying to her, and telling her, you just got to keep pushing. You just got to keep pushing on and keep insisting and keep pressuring. And eventually you will wear this person down and you will get what you want. Neo, this woman is, by all accounts, a predator. She has been since she was young. She preys upon people. She's a weak person, always on the lookout for people that are weaker than her. And she looks for certain weaknesses to play to her advantage, whether it's if the person is financially hurting, then she'll come along and act generous and offer up her money. And it's not out of generosity. It's more like, I'm doing things for you to get leverage over you, because once I do a certain amount of things, you're going to owe me and I'm going to own you. Or she might look for people that have a language barrier, or they don't have knowledge of her eating problem. So she can kind of keep them in the dark about that and keep lying about it. I mean, this woman is very, 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 very manipulative. But this whole thing with Salah, the entire time, it's been an employer-employee situation that I'm sure, just like with Natter, she was hoping it would turn into more than that. But it's been 2 years. And of more than 2, you can't put a square peg in a round hole. No matter what you do, it's not going to fit. It's not supposed to fit. It doesn't belong there. Yet she wants what she wants. And even though mentally, emotionally, deep down, she knows he doesn't want her, he's never going to want her, she now looks at him as a possession. She paid a lot of money for him, and she went through all this trouble of going to Kuwait and giving him over $9,000 and building up a channel for him, da 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 da. So in her mind, he now belongs to her. Even though he's not good for her and she's not good for him, she just won't let go. She's not the kind of person that she'll say, I tried it, it didn't work, I'm going to cut my losses and then just cut this whole thing loose and stop the bleeding. For the sake of her pride, for the sake of her vanity, she'll let the wound keep bleeding, just so she doesn't have to admit that she caused the wound unnecessarily in the first place and acknowledge that it's there. Does that make sense? Okay. But yeah, I can see where you're seeing all of the higher chakra energy there. I can see it too. It's just, I don't think she's listening. I don't think she cares.
All of these are in play. All of these are being affected because this is a bromance, not a romance. There is a mirroring energy here, a mirror match, because you're supposed to see yourself and acknowledge and take accountability and responsibility for how you got here. This is like a karmic card. This makes me feel like Spirit's about to say false twins. Oh my goodness. Okay. twin flames is what I was trying to get out. But it's this energy of wanting to connect to someone, but also there's this fire in between it, in the area of business, also in the area of passion. And when you touch it, you get what? You get burned. Okay, so sending her love and light. Let's continue to tap in.
Now, Neil, I don't know if this is the thing, but I think Chantal has had more than one guy in her face within the last few years that they were supposed to be lessons that she needed to learn, lessons wrapped in sandpaper. You get a life lesson wrapped in sandpaper and broken glass. Once you learn it, you don't want it again. So you learn it and you move on. But life was trying to teach her with Natter. Like, Natter was, in many respects, the male version of her. So her being around him, it was like, in a sense, looking in the mirror. There were many things about him that she did not like, but those same aspects could be found in her. So perhaps that was a way for Spirit to try to teach her by, in almost a physical sense, making her look in the mirror at her own reflection. Even though it wasn't a regular mirror, when you meet someone who is a lot like you, it's like you're facing yourself in a sense. Not totally, but some aspects of you that need to be changed. So she met up with Natter, and they were a lot alike in all the wrong ways. They were both scam artists and liars and manipulators and abusive, and she did not learn the lesson. So Spirit said, okay, I guess we got to go through this again. And we can't wait till another lifetime. We're going to do it now since you're still just as stupid as you were before. And Salah got brought into her life. And these 3 years that she spent in Kuwait, 2 to 3 years, the misery that she's experienced has all been by her own hand. But Salah is another scammer, liar, con artist, romance scammer. She keeps gravitating to scammers because that's what she is, I feel. And you feel comfortable around those that are the most like you. So she keeps gravitating to sleazy people because she herself is sleazy. And yet she's not learning. And yet she's not learning. And yet she keeps trying to push her feelings off on these men, and they want nothing to do with it. Salah wants money, and she keeps reaching for these men, not out of love. Love is healthy. Love is balanced. Love is equal. Love is respectful. It's out of desperation. Like, she's just desperate for companionship, desperate for emotion. And here's the crazy thing. She's desperate for something that she herself cannot truly feel. She wants to feel love for a man. I mean, love from a man. At the same time, she's not capable of real love. So you're expecting something from somebody else, Foodie, that you are not capable of giving. You don't love people. You have no sense of empathy. You don't even love yourself. You are looking for something that you yourself do not possess. And that might be one of the lessons that she has to learn, that if you want to receive something, first, you have to be able to give it. And if you can't give it because you don't have it, maybe you need to work on yourself and cultivate being in a position where you can give it, you understand it, you have respect for it. And she's got a long way to go before that happens, if it happens.
And for Foodie Beauty.
Ooh.
Okay, so there's this energy of depression, melancholy, homebody, poor, weather, burnout, truth hurts, negativity, lower self, boredom, lies, false self, secrets, exposed, shady, reality check. And this is the sunlight in reverse. What does Foodie Beauty need to hear? Moving in love and light. Ashe to the ancestors. Ashe to the universe. Current energy, please. Current energy for Foodie Beauty Spirit. What is it that you want me to share? Moving in love and light. Certainty. You know where you stand, your senses are sharp, thoughts are real things, and the power of the tongue is not a hoax. You consider the choices you make and how they will serve you. Karma has made her introduction very clear. You respect the terms and conditions. You flee from mental chaos, knowing you mean no harm. Regardless, you are sure of yourself and justify the quality of what you demand, almost as if you are entitled to do it. Ashe to the ancestors, Ashe to the universe. Spirit is acknowledging. Okay, so. Okay. Let's do it again.
Hold on. You know, like when you put down that card, Neo, the certainty card, I'm like, isn't that interesting that card came down for Foodie? Certainty. What an interesting word. What an interesting concept. Certainty. Certainty is something that Chantal doesn't have. There's nothing certain about her life, about her world, about this fake relationship she's got going on with Salah, and yet she wants it. She's not laying down the groundwork or the blueprint for certainty so that she can have it and hold on to it. But I'm looking at that card right now. A couple of things that are just jumping out at me. The picture of the couple sitting on the dock in front of the water together, certainty. I think she wants certainty with what she has with Salah. She wants the comfort of knowing that he's always going to be around. She doesn't have that. She's never going to have that because they are not a true couple. Again, it's a business arrangement, has been since the very beginning, but she's been working over hard and over much to try to get that certainty. And the problem is she's doing it with somebody who is not emotionally plugged into her and doesn't want to be plugged in. He's very indifferent to her. He's not emotionally invested. He's very indifferent to her. That means he doesn't feel love or hate for her. He's like, whatever you want to do, I don't care, as long as I get a paycheck. So there is much uncertainty in her world. There's nothing solid. There's nothing concrete. And another thing that's jumping out at me with that card is the number 29. And if you add the 2 and 9 together, that's the number 11. And what is the number 11? You've got 2 ones sitting next to each other, a 1 and a 1. You know, like 2 pillars that are next to each other. I don't know why that just jumped out at me, but just you've got the number 29, you add 2 and 9 together, it's 11. And 11 is a magical number, but 2 ones, you got 1 here, 1 here. The number 1 is a singular thing. It is not a plural thing, but I think it signifies that she's doing her thing, he's doing his thing. They're standing next to each other, but they're not touching. They are not close. They are not intertwined. And that's why the certainty will never come. No matter what she does, no matter what she says, no matter how much money she spends on Salah, there will never, ever be certainty. There will never be solid ground. It'll always be quicksand. And she'll be here, he'll be here, and that's it.
Yeah, let's do it right. Thank you, Spirit. How does Foodie Beauty move in love and light? There we go. How does she move in love and light? Thank you, Spirit. How does she move in love and light? 1 card, please. All right. Spirit is acknowledging to look at the silver lining. Moving in love and light. 7 is significant. I do see that someone is touching something that looks like an electric volt. It's being communicated upon. It does affect the heart chakra. How do you move in love and light? Spirit said this is a sign of revival. Soon love will show up in a restorative form. Your decision making will derive from the root of protection. This is how she moves in love and light. You will save yourself from landing in uncomfortable situations, not frequenting or repeating patterns of the past. This is how she moves in love and light. To be open to the concept of new friends, new pets, new careers, opportunities, new sources of income, and new rituals, routines for yourself. This is new life.
Okay, like on that card, the silver lining card, couple of things. You see somebody who's at the edge of a cliff. Let me just blow it up real good so everybody can really see it. By the way, beautiful cards, Neil. I love these cards. You see someone that they are on their knees on the cliff, and the two things kept popping into my head. The first one is, you're trying to grab the lightning, ride the lightning. Also trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and Chantal trying to, like, hoping that lightning strikes twice. She once had her heyday and was making a lot of money. And I think part of her wants that back. She wants to go back to the time when she was doing extremely well. But the thing is, lightning rarely strikes twice. And it's really unusual to catch lightning in a bottle and make it work for you, or ride the lightning. And you certainly can't ride the lightning if you can't move, if you won't move. How can you ride the lightning if you won't even get off the couch? But just hoping for something, like, in your head, but with your body, you're not working and putting action behind the emotional or mental manifestations, the thoughts, the feelings, and I want this and I want that, but you're not doing anything about it. So there's that false toxic cheerleader in her head saying, whatever the situation is, however severe it may be, we can get out of this, we can fix it. And yet there's no plan. So she's always looking for the silver lining in the cloud. Always looking, but never truly finding.
Okay. Current energy when it comes to her finances. Foodie Beauty. Thank you. Spirit said,
hey.
On the surface, the perfect timing, everything coming in at the perfect time. So there's this energy of money coming in. Everything is coming in at the perfect time. However, with this money, she went down the wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit said if she wants to recoup anything, she should be investing in stocks. But Spirit also says she's burnt out and she needs to take a small break.
So it sounds like she takes 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. I mean, and that's the Chantal way. Like, she makes money. She could make money. It's just that she can't keep it going. She tires out easily. She gets burned out easily. She complains. And the money goes in the wrong place. And part of where her money goes, Neo, this woman is an addict. She is a food addict, to the tune of spending about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month plus on food a month for one person. Her food addiction is insane, to the point where she has to literally crowdfund and crowdsource her addiction out to other people to keep it going. If she had a regular job off of YouTube, she would not be able to keep her food addiction at the level that it's at. It would be impossible. She would not be able to work enough nor make enough to satisfy it. So she makes money, but the bulk of her money goes for things where her money should not go, and to a person that's really adding nothing to her life. And yet she's not waking up and saying to herself, what am I doing? This is stupid. I've got to fix this. She doesn't want to wake up. She wants to remain asleep, because as long as she remains spiritually asleep, she doesn't have to fix the problems. If she woke up, she would have to face all the problems, and there's a mountain of them, and it might overwhelm her. And it goes against her narcissism and her pride to ask for help. She doesn't want to admit she's wrong. She doesn't want to admit that she doesn't have all the answers, and just say to everybody, look, I'm over my head. I don't know what I'm doing. I need assistance. She always has to maintain the top position of I'm above everybody else and I'm not with the rest of you peasants. She has to maintain that stance always. Well, she's got to learn that lesson of nobody has all the answers. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all fall. We all falter, but we can get back up and make it better. And if you have someone that wants to help you, let them help you. You know, accept the helping hand that's being stretched out to you.
I'll show you to the ancestors. I'll show you to the universe. Fraudy beauty, current energy. What is the message to Fraudy beauty? Current energy. Father of fire, passion ignited. If you have a yes or no question, Papa Fire steps forward as a clear yes. The time is now for that big passionate vision. All things are possible. You are possible. Keep the enthusiasm up. Your qualities as a natural born leader are required. Get it done. As usual, you are trying to wear all hats, but that will stagnate your growth. You need support in your current endeavor. Embrace your raw desires. You deserve unbridled pleasure. Be adventurous and fearless in pursuing new experiences. Express your sensuality. Taking the lead is sexy in every aspect of your life. Spirit is also acknowledging that this is juicy, divine, yang energy. It is safe to take charge with motivated action. Try emotional freedom techniques, tapping to help you relax into your natural leadership. So there's a couple of things that's coming up. Spirit is acknowledging that there is a strong flame in the area of business, but also in the area of passion. There's also this energy of her needing to do some sort of method to kind of release her tension and her emotional draining energy, because it's acknowledging that she needs to try EFT, emotional freedom techniques. So there's an issue with her emotions. Spirit is also acknowledging that she's wearing too many hats, and because of that it is stagnating her growth. But there's also this sacral energy that is trying to be expressed. Okay, and so Spirit is acknowledging that there is this expression of sensuality that she's tapping into as well.
So as far as that card, the Father of Fire, what I got off of that, Neo, is that maybe Spirit is trying to tell her, look, you need to get your fire back. You know, you let the fire go completely out. There's no smoke anymore. Like the stones are cold. You got to reignite the fire in your soul somehow. You got to get that fire back. I mean, I've been watching Fraudy for a long time, and she lost it a while ago. And she's not bothered to try to find it again or be concerned about it. So where she's at right now, like the fire is going to stay out. She won't be able to light the fire where she is. She's going to have to go home and do it because she's too, thank you, Spirit, stagnated. Like her being in Kuwait is so bad on so many levels. It's bad for her health. It's bad for her mind. It's bad for her emotions. She is stagnated. She is a puddle of just still water that is not moving. It's not rippling. It's not nothing. And to get that fire back, she's got to go where she can feel the fire again, where she can just sit down with a lighter and some wood and just light it and feel the warmth again and warm up her hands and get going. But she's got to break free of this. I have to possess a man that doesn't want me. She's got to let go of that. She's got to release her own chains. She's got the key in her hand. She just has to release the shackles and walk away. Like she just needs to do this, but she's not doing it. But she used to have a fire in her belly. She doesn't have it anymore. She does not have it.
It feels like she might be doing I'll just be quite honest. The download is that she might be doing something like on a video or some type of expression visually that might, I don't know, you guys. stimulate someone. I don't know, but that's just the energy that's coming through, okay? All right. Foodie Beauty, moving in love and light. No tea, no shade. Like, this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Y'all know that about me. All right. Foodie Beauty and Salah.
Uh-oh.
So there is this energy of spending magical moments alone, someone acknowledging, I feel like a card flipped over. Okay, no. If acknowledging that there is this moment of them, someone feeling like they're single and or acknowledging that they are single. And this is because they are guilty as charged. This is also allowing somebody the opportunity, either him and or her, or both, to acknowledge, who do you love? Do you love them more than you love yourself? It's like one of them energies where it's like you're looking at the man in the mirror and you're asking those deeper level thinking questions. You're asking those shadow questions, diving into your shadow self to ask yourself, like, why am I here? What am I doing this for? What is the reason? You know what I'm saying? Spirit is also acknowledging in this reflective mode, in this reflective state, there is acknowledging that there's death to peacocks, death to something that once was, death to something that was once beautiful, death to ego, death to pride. Okay. And Spirit is acknowledging there's a timeout on the relationship because of this. And what is you're trying to suppress is coming to the surface. What you're trying to submerge will no longer stay in the depths. It's coming to the surface. What you do in the dark comes to the light. And this is in the area of a manifestation and or a pregnancy. Okay. Something is trying to come to the surface. And Spirit said that this also has to do with someone getting a sexual healing. I do see red acknowledging that this could indicate that someone needs to get grounded. But this is the foundation for this timeout. Okay. And Spirit said there's something else in the middle of the deck. Thank you.
Well, I do know that Foodie, like, everybody has different ways of coping with things. We all have our different coping mechanisms and our different coping skills and things that we turn to for comfort, for peace, for relaxation, for fun. Foodie's number one comfort is food. I don't think Salah has the same coping mechanisms. I think he might be going to other people for his tension. You know, seeking out other people to relax, to feel better, to release his tension. But if they're both having the moments alone and reflecting and thinking, why am I here? What am I doing this for? Good. It needs to happen, because this whole thing has gone on way too long. Way too long.
Yeah, see, somebody has some unfinished business in the bedroom. There's an entanglement going on here. Cards are sticking together.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's an entanglement going on here, which is giving someone the no sorries allowed this time. We do see the moon again. And so this is just acknowledging, like, what you do in the dark comes to the light. What you're trying to submerge is coming to the surface.
You know, there's been rumors that something happened between Salah and Foodie. Maybe he got caught again. Maybe she saw some stuff on his phone or something on his computer and blew up. And if that's the case, this would not be his first quote unquote offense. And I'm putting the offense in quotes because if she is the employer and he's the employee, which we know that to be true, she pays him. But if it was strictly a business relationship, it wasn't supposed to be personal at all. There were no promises made. There were no emotional ties that were put together. Whoever he chooses to be with in his personal time, she really has no claim to, and it's none of her doggone business. But the problem with Foodie is that she starts off with a certain kind of thing going on with somebody, but then she starts bringing her emotions into it. She doesn't consult the other person and say, how do you feel about me? Do you want to go further? Do you want to keep this personal? She just assumes that if she feels it, the other person should feel it too. And then she gets angry when they don't, even though it's her fault, because she did not have enough respect for the other person to say, I feel this way. How do you feel? And if they happen to say, I don't feel this certain way, to have the maturity and the emotional intelligence to say, well, that's cool. You don't feel this way. I just thought I'd ask, and keep it pushing. She just gets mad because she cannot take rejection, even in the kindest, most caring way. She cannot, she doesn't understand that you're attracted to who you're attracted to, and it's out of your control. She just assumes men are going to want her, and when they don't, then she gets mad. So I'm wondering if he got caught with something, even if she caught him, you can't get mad at him, Chantal. If it's just a business arrangement, it's none of your business who he talks to and what he does in the bedroom. But she takes things to an emotional level where it does not belong.
There's water energy here. This is emotional and or a water sign. It's just this energy of a manifestation or a pregnancy trying to come through, because that is what is trying to be suppressed. Okay. And then you see the flower in the mouth, acknowledging to forgive someone, to accept their offer of love, their apology. And then you have this individual here acknowledging no thank you with the purple, making me feel like that's their intuitive guide. That's them, their higher, their future self, their higher level thinking self saying, let's not do this anymore. Let's not accept this anymore. And because of that, the aftermath is fuck love. And this is also, again, because there's some lovers and friends. There's a situation here that someone is playing. Somebody is playing games. Okay.
Honestly, Neo, I think they're both playing games. They're just playing different kinds of games. They're playing games with each other, and they're playing games with other people. Just the game's the same. It's just different Monopoly boards. You feel me? It all depends on how they want to interact with each other. But she just got through playing a game with him where something happened, and she threatened to go home, and she acted like she was buying a plane ticket. And then she said, oh, no, I'm staying. And why did she do it? Because she wasn't getting her way. So she made him sweat about her going home. He should have let her go home. That would have been the best idea ever. But she's very manipulative. Like when she's not getting her way, when she's not getting the food she wants, she manipulates people to where, like, if you don't give me my way, then I'm going to go. And this over, like, say, donuts, literally donuts. A big blow up over donuts and coffee. She blew up, and he's like, okay. He gave her the fast food. He gave her the donuts, and he gave her a little bit of attention. And for the moment, she's happy. But in their world, the happiness never lasts long. There always something happens.
Somebody is, say, who stole a cookie from the cookie jar? Mm-hmm. Yes, you. They say, who, me? Couldn't be. No, it was you. It was you. Okay. All right, let's get into this energy for Foodie Beauty. Thank you. So there's this energy of pleasure, okay? And there's this energy of the Six of Cups. And so this is nostalgic. This has something to do with memory. This has something to do with needing to heal a wound, even an inner childhood wound. But at the root of it, her energy on the surface is somebody was, the cards already said it too, like somebody is getting it in, okay?
Okay, hold on a second. Can we back up to that card for just a second, Neo? I want to take a good look at it. So I'm looking at that card, and here's what I'm feeling off of it. So notice that the woman's hand is on top of the man's hand. Like the woman's hand has the dominant position. Like it looks like there's like the bigger hand is on the bottom and her hand is on the top. It's almost like a sign of dominance. Like he's reaching for the glasses of wine. He's reaching for the pleasure. And she's almost pulling him back, saying, oh, no, you don't. You're not getting that wine. You're not having any pleasure. I'm going to stop you. Like he's reaching for something, and she's saying, nope, you can't have it. So maybe I'm reading that card all wrong, but like that's how I'm interpreting that. The fact that she's got her hand on top of his hand, and he's reaching for something, and she's pulling that hand literally back, saying, oh, no, you don't. You're not going anywhere. You're reaching for that wine. You're reaching for the things you want, but before you get it, I'm going to pull you back from it.
Somebody was, I mean, the cards already said it too. Like somebody is getting it in, okay? And because of this energy, it's the, thank you, Spirit, it's the Wheel of Fortune, it's karma, it's upheaval, it's life-changing decisions, life-altering decisions, it's choices, it's good luck. Like, good luck.
And this is the second time, Neo, like in your reading, like I keep seeing, have you noticed this too? All through this reading, the color purple. The color purple is everywhere. And there's also lightning. There's the lightning again in the top left. So like whenever there's a storm and lightning, it just lightning strikes. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And I'm also seeing something else. Like this is just popping out at me big time. Notice the faces on the side of the left. And to me, that looks like the comedy tragedy mask that you do is in theater. So like this, you look, you got the blue, you got the yellow, you've got the purple. So like these alternating masks of different emotions and personalities, and I just moods, and the lightning is the lightning is striking, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning. It is turning. You know, I'm getting so much off this card. The Ferris wheel, is that a Ferris wheel? It is a Ferris wheel. So like Spirit is saying something about it's all fun and games until it's not. Like you think it's all amusing, but here comes the lightning to shut you down and make you get back in your car and go home.
Good luck with that. Okay, and in the middle of the deck, we do have the Three of Swords. There is sorrow in reverse. In the middle of the deck, there is an energy of releasing pain because of this. There is an energy of sadness, being present, but also acknowledging that there will be recovery and releasing this pain. It is accompanied with disappointment and heartbreak. This is a period of sorrow, and it won't last forever. But there's a lesson to be learned in order to move forward. Also, this pain should not travel with her as she progresses and or he progresses into new relationships, because this would be considered as baggage, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I didn't even realize you said that in this reading. I forgot about it. What was I saying about the baggage earlier? Yeah, you got to release the baggage, all of it, both of them.
It will be baggage. Current energy for Foodie Beauty. What is her biggest obstacle? Current energy. Thank you, Spirit. I read biggest obstacle in reverse. So change is an obstacle. But as you can see, this person is working out, and that is an obstacle. Finding balance is an obstacle. Partnership, juggling partnerships, that's an obstacle. Tension is an obstacle. Irresponsibility is an obstacle. Feeling unbalanced is an obstacle. Being responsible with your money is an obstacle. Saving is an obstacle. Feeling off track and wanting to get in alignment is an obstacle. Another obstacle is the Six of Wands as well.
One moment, please. Okay, guys, so I just had to turn on the air for a few minutes because it's getting really hot in here. It's like 96 degrees, and this place is burning up. So I just turned on the air for a minute to get some cool in here. And let's get through the rest of the reading and finish it out, because I would really love to hear what Neo has to say. So take it away, Neo.
Well, with victory in reverse. So delayed success is an obstacle. Not feeling victorious is an obstacle. Um, being disappointed and dealing with temporary setbacks are obstacles. A delay is an obstacle. Sticking to your plan is an obstacle. And giving up, like wanting to give up. And then we have the Princess of Wands.
There's a lot of lightning in this reading, Neo. Have you noticed that? There's lightning, there's the color purple, and there's a lot of fire. Remember the Father of Fire card. There's a lot of fire, purple, lightning. I'm noticing that.
is an obstacle. This is the dancer in an obstacle. So, okay, because spirit is real loud right now. Who's the dancer?
I don't know.
Who is this energy? Fire sign energy fizzling out in the area of business, also in the area of pleasure. This feels like a female energy that's coming through, that's putting out the flame that Chantel could have had, once had, may have had with someone, but it feels like a female energy with the Princess of Wands, the dancer in reverse.
Yeah, I'm totally stumped about that, Neil. Like, I got nothing. I don't know who this dancer is. Is it somebody that Salah knows? I'm drawing a blank, girl. I'm drawing a blank. Is it somebody that Salah's hanging out with? Because I know that ain't Chantal. Maybe it's somebody he's spending some sexy time with.
Things progressing.
The red room. If you know, you know. Y'all remember the red room pictures with Salah? He was being a naughty boy. Maybe that's it.
As you had hoped is an obstacle. Delays and misunderstandings. The part of life that she is in right now is an obstacle. Wanting to take a better course of action is an obstacle. Being patient is an obstacle. Using her intuition is an obstacle. What is the current energy with Foodie Beauty and Salah? This is about reflection. This is about seeing yourself as a part of life's greater cycle. So one or both of them are taking a moment to see their reflection in this energy. Also taking time to look at what they have done with their time up until this moment. Also asking themselves, how will they face their creator when that time is over? This card also reflects Ellis Island. This whole scene here are the 12 million people that came through into the U.S., and how stepping on the island is a very much like touching a piece of your own history. This is energy of someone trying to come to the U.S. or having to return to the U.S. from an island or from a faraway place. I show to the ancestors, I show to the universe.
Well, Salah has been wanting to get to Canada. I don't know if he ever will, given the fact that he's with Chantal. I don't think she can do it, but maybe that might be his desire to come. But I could see why it would be a card of reflection. Because, like, I don't know about Salah, but I think with her, it's like life has been trying to teach her, look, like, we're putting people in front of you that are most like you. We want you to see yourself and aspects of yourself in these people so that you can realize how unpleasant these aspects are, and you can look at that and fix that.
Subconsciously, when it comes to their relationship, someone is leaving, someone is coming back to the United States, and subconsciously this makes somebody happy with the Sun card. This makes someone feel very optimistic.
I think it's him. Chantal is not going to be happy about leaving Kuwait. I've been saying for the longest, if she leaves and she can't go back to Salah, because again, she looks at Salah as a possession. He belongs to her now. She paid a bunch of money for him. She helped him with his YouTube page. Like, once she gives you money, you owe her and she owns you. That's the way she looks at it. Doesn't mean that's the way it is. But I think he's going to be very happy. Very happy. I mean, I'm looking at these two cards, Neo, and this is just striking me. The card on the left, I think, represents her. Notice the card on the right. There's much more sunshine. It looks brighter. It looks more positive. Whereas the card on the left, it's much more, the spirit is saying melancholy. Not ugly, just more like not as happy as the card on the right. Like, I think if she goes to Canada for any reason, she's not going to be as happy about it as he is. He's going to feel a sense of freedom of like, woo, I'm free of her for at least a while. And she's going to be more or less just wandering around, not knowing what to do, wanting to get back there. She's very much attached to Salah. But whenever she leaves, he's always happier, at least for a while. And then she returns and then he's not so happy. But notice the coloration on both cards. One is like the dawn, This looks like the start of a new day. Like there's sunshine in the background. You've got the childlike, woohoo, let's go play energy. And the other one is just somebody walking around and not looking as happy as the child is.
It makes them tap into their inner child. They feel rewarded and productive. This is also offering clarity in a murky situation, and it brings renewed vitality and a conscious understanding. They feel like their health will return and they will be better, and they'll have enthusiasm with life. One in or both of them. In the middle of the deck, Spirit is acknowledging with the Two of Swords, there won't be peace. There's an energy of manipulation and blocked intuition. I always get that energy when I read on these two, but there's manipulation here for sure. This is because someone's thoughts and opinions are weighing too heavily on the other, and it might be preventing them from receiving clear messages from their intuition. There's also an energy of them not being able to reach their decisions that are aligned with their true self, because they need to turn down the volume and the voice of the other so that they can actually hear themselves. Someone is just way too loud in this relationship, and it's because they're trying to manipulate the other. Be that him or her, someone is trying to say, all right, I'm done, and the other is becoming upset, sending them love and light.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, Neo, I think that for a while, Salah has been trying to find a peaceful, non-fight kind of way to end this thing, but he's not getting it through his head that she is not a peaceful, okay, this is not working, I'm going to go ahead and go home, no hard feelings, maybe we can talk as friends. She's not that kind of a person. She doesn't have that level of maturity. He's trying to not make waves and not rock the boat and wait for something to happen to where it's over and she's not angry at him and she's not going to rage about him on her channel and make up stories. But what he's not understanding is that she's a very confrontational person. She's very emotional. She's very wrathful. And the only way she's going to get out of Kuwait is if she's forced out. She will not leave peacefully. She will leave kicking and screaming. And that's just how it is. So he's trying to play Mr. Non-confrontational, Mr. Peaceful, Mr. I'm extending the olive leaf, and she's not going to have it. You know, even if you approach her from a polite point of view of, hey, we're not happy, why don't we just do the smart thing and end this? Immediately, she's going to fly off the handle. What do you mean? You don't love me? You don't care? And just go bananas. There's no way you can find in the world to pacify her. There's no reasoning with her. She's not a reasonable, sensible person. Even if you are sensible and reasonable and what you're saying makes perfect, total sense, if it's not what she wants, she's not going to hear it. She's going to get emotional. She's going to fly off the handle about you and punish you in some way. And so he just feels trapped. He's been looking for an escape. He hasn't found it yet. And she continues to dominate the situation. And he continues to let her. The last relationship she had, Natter, the one that she wanted more than Salah, the only way that he got away from Chantal was he literally had to escape. He had to move 2+ hours away from where he was at and go live with another woman in her house in order for Chantal to let go. That's the only way he got away. And even then, she wouldn't shut up talking about him. She was obsessed with him, and she probably still is. But he's looking for an out. She's never going to give him one. She's a weak person who finds weak people to control, intimidate, punish, emotionally twist up into a pretzel. So if he wants to get away from her, he's got to take the first step. He's got to tell her no. He's got to walk away from this thing because she never will. And she made sure of that. When she went to Kuwait, she made sure to pull up all of her roots in Canada, giving up the place that she lived, her roommate, her pets, a lot of her possessions, just so she could go over there and he'd be stuck with her. Now he is stuck with her. So he's got to figure out his own way out.
What's next for Foodie Beauty? Current energy. There's an energy of a truce in reverse.
Ooh.
It's not over. She's going to deal with some mental anguish for sure because it's not allowing her to rest. It feels like karma is not allowing her to rest. There's this energy of restlessness, avoiding self-reflection, feeling restless, avoiding quiet time, that she may be opposed to stopping. This is actually a warning that she may be teetering on the edge of burnout and that she needs to balance her physical and mental health at this time. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Gourmet Chef in reverse with the Knight of Pentacles. Just acknowledging that she's not eating well. There's an energy of hesitation and complacency, hence why she's not resting well. There's an energy of her being unhealthy and complacent in a job or relationship, causing stagnation.
Honestly, Neo, you know what? I'm taking that card as with the Gourmet Chef in reverse. Her addiction to food, and how it's turned her life completely upside down.
That she needs to tune into her intuition and ask herself where she can make positive changes to redirect her energy and get back in a universal positive flow. And in the middle of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. She's seeking power in the middle of the deck. That is what we can't see. There's an energy of stability and hoarding, holding on to things too tightly, focusing on past issues, hurt, trying to have some financial security and some financial stability, wanting to save for the future and or a specific in this life, especially when it comes to finances. Finances is currency. So there's an energy of water in that. It needs to flow in and out. There's a law of reciprocity, give and take, give and take, give and take.
Okay, Spirit is telling me to say this. In life, there's all kinds of currency. There's not just the money currency that we're all familiar with. There's all kinds of currency that you can possess and spend as you will. There's the currency of love. There's the currency of joy. There's the currency of education. There's the currency of humor. There's the currency of just kind, good deeds and good acts. I mean, we as people, we possess more currency than we're aware of. And how and where and when you spend your currency determines your happiness or unhappiness. Chantal's problem is that she's focused on only one type of currency. I read a book long ago, and it explained the difference between rich and wealthy. Does anybody out there know the difference between rich and wealthy? They both start out the same when you're rich and wealthy. When you're rich or wealthy, you have an abundance of something. It could be money. It could be oil. It could be education. It could be property. It could be buildings. It could be food. But the difference between rich and wealthy, people who are rich, that the universe gives an abundance of something, they hoard it all to themselves and they don't let it go. And because they wrap their arms around it, because they're not doing what they're supposed to do and letting it go out into the universe where it's supposed to go, more can return. Versus somebody who's wealthy, they have an abundance with something and they open up their arms and say, I'm letting it go out of the universe. I'm sharing what I have. And that's the right thing to do. I'm giving back and more will come to me. Chantal has always had that stingy, rich mentality. Oh, it's mine and I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to share it. Hence why her river of abundance has dried up. It's just a flat, dry riverbed. If life gives you something, you're supposed to give back. There should be a system of give and take. She doesn't know how to give. Even things that are free and cost her no money, she doesn't know how to give. It's always about take, 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 take. So her abundance, her riches, her prosperity, they've all dried up. Like it's that riverbed is dry. There's no fish in that river. There's no water. There's no moisture. It's just dry sand. And for the life of her, she can't understand why. It's because she's got that negative, one-sided, self-centered, self-absorbed, rich mindset.
And when you hold on to things so tightly, you suck the life out of it, and eventually it leaves. And be that money, relationship,
Yep.
good health, family, friends. You can't suck the life
No.
out of those things.
Right. Like if you're that person that whatever room you walk into, you suck the oxygen right out of the room, nobody wants to be around you. If you're a burden, if you're negative all the time, you don't realize the effect you have on people when you are just a battery of negativity. Like for you to gain power, you have to suck the energy out of other people. And some people may put up with it for a while if they don't realize what's going on. But once they figure it out, that every time they're around you, they feel tired, they feel exhausted, they feel stressed out, they feel angry. Then what they're going to do is they're going to take some scissors and cut those cables and say, oh no, you're not going to connect to me. Like I feel better when you're not around. And then whoever that negative person is, they're going to be thinking, well, why am I alone? Well, it's because you are a battery of negativity and you are sucking up too much power from others and you're not giving back. You're not giving back any positive energy or positive thoughts or generosity or love or kindness or compassion or empathy. You're always taking. The cables only go one way and not back out. Chantal has exhausted every single person that's ever been around her. She's worn everybody out, her family, her friends. She's betrayed everybody. She's lied to everybody. For somebody who wants to not be alone in life, she has ensured that she always will be, just based on her actions, her words, her thoughts, just who she is as an individual. For all of that want of not wanting to be alone, she's ensuring that she will be, because she's made herself intolerable.
Because they require space, they require air, they require independence to thrive and flourish.
Right.
Okay. And so it just feels like she's taking the life out of things
Yep.
that she once admired and then gets upset when they're no longer around. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.
What a great reading, Neo. Absolutely great. Loved it. And I'm glad that I waited an extra day to react to it because I just needed, I needed some time to myself. But what a great reading. I really appreciate you doing these readings. I always get excited when I see you reading on Foodie. And like I said, I encourage everyone to check out Neo Tarot and all of her readings, not just on Foodie. Like I said, she's done some pretty great readings on singers, on actors, people in the entertainment industry, even haunted places. So great job, Neo. And I'm going to go ahead and post this react to my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. I'm going to turn the air back on and cool down because, girl, it's hot. It is hot in here. So I'm going to go. You guys take care and have a good one. Bye now.